ever since I was little, I've been showing horses since I was a little girl, and I can remember my first horse show like it was yesterday. When you first step into the arena, the adrenaline rush hits you like a brick wall. Whether you are approaching the first jump, heading down center line and vaulting an X, or galloping across the cross-country field to the first combination on the course. Horse shows stem from our love of horses, the sport, and most importantly, allow us to present our hard work and dedication that got us to where we are today. There are three major English disciplines: the hunter jumpers, dressage, and the event. My purpose here today is to present to you the history of these three disciplines and the process of showing and the scoring that takes place in each. We'll begin with the hunter jumper discipline. Hunter jumpers originates in England, where horses were used as a method of transportation while hunting. The horses would face various terrains, and this natural scene is carried over into the show ring. So they would face different like stone walls, creeks, ditches, things like that, and then they carry them over. The jumpers was later introduced into the Olympics later that year, and coming from the United States Equestrian Federation of Europa, there is a multitude of hunter classes for all different breeds and ages of horses. The scoring standards for the hunter and jumper shows are set by the United States Hunter Jumper Association. And coming from Europa, the hunter classes are divided into two classes. There is your flat class where there's no jumps, and then they have their over fences. Each class is judged on a score from 0 to 100, and then later the scores are then combined in the rider and horse combination, with the highest score at the end of the day brings home the blue ribbon. And the judges are basically looking for a horse that has a good tempo and good form over the jumps. And in the jumpers, you want to try to get through your horse as fast and have a clean run, which means you don't want to knock down any poles or go over the time limit, because if you do, you have other penalties. We'll then move on to dressage. As stated in the Equestrian Dressage Equipment and History article on Olympics.com, dressage originates in Greece, where they used it as a method of training their horses for battle. They believed that many of the movements present in the dressage tests could prepare their horses for maneuvers that they would have to face in battle. With the Spanish riding school established in 1729 in Vienna, dressage then hit its peak. And as many people within the United States Dressage Federation state, when performed correctly, dressage can be compared to a dance between its horse and rider, and it's magical. Dressage shows are pretty strict. Everything's set on a certain time schedule, and if you're late for anything, you get disqualified. A rider is required to present a certain test in the ring, and there's certain movements that have to be performed in a certain order. The judge then follows along on a score sheet and rates them from 1 to 10. And then the score is later then combined and expressed as a percentage at the end of the test. The dressage ring is 20 by 60 meters, and there are letters around the edge of the arena. So, like for a test, you'd say circle at a certain letter. And then at the end of the day, with the dressage test, you get your score. It's presented as a percentage, and the higher the percentage, the better your test. It's very hard to get 100% on your test. Usually a good score is in a range from 80 to 90%. And the last discipline is eventing. It stems from the cavalry and is stated by Eventing Nation. It's a 3-day event, which is also referred to as a horse trial. It's a combination of a dressage, stadium jumping, also known as the jumpers, and your cross-country day. The cross-country is performed in a big open field, and you have many different various natural jumps, anywhere from down trees to water jumps to logs and ginormous ditches. Some of these jumps, they are very intimidating. They're bigger than me, and anywhere they can be 6 feet tall to 5 feet wide. You also have your dressage day. The different part about the dressage is the score is represented differently. Your score is expressed by the number of falls that you endure in your test. So you want the lowest score at the end of the day. And for your stadium round, it's the same as the jumpers. You want to have a clean, fast round, get through as fast as possible. And then the rider that has the lowest score from all 3 events combined brings home the blue ribbon at the end of the day. All in all, the equestrian disciplines it's an addicting sport and it gives you an adrenaline rush that is hard to find anywhere else. And is stated by the United States Dressage Federation as the final step in all of your dressage tests, 8 on centerline, and an X called